When it comes to training, most firms have at least one distinguishing feature. For example, shorter rotations between teams, better international secondments or even guaranteed secondments, specialist learning and development programs, smaller trainee intakes and the like. To give more specific examples, I'm going to start with the structure of a firm's training program. You might want to consider whether the firm's training program enables you to experience a broader range of departments than its competitors' training programs, for example, by allowing shorter rotations between practice areas. As always, explain why you care. So if a firm's approach is distinctively flexible, does this mean you'll be able to experience a greater range of work? If so, will this increase your chances of identifying the type of work that best aligns with your skills and your interests, and help you to make a more informed decision about where to qualify or specialise post-training? Could experiencing more areas also give you a uniquely holistic insight into how various aspects of matters fit together? And in doing so, could this further your commercial awareness and kind of hone your broader professional development? You could also look at the firm's approach to training. Is the firm more focused on classroom-based learning at the start, or does it prefer to give juniors practical client-facing experience from the outset? Are you afforded greater opportunities to develop your technical and business knowledge and your professional skills during your training? For example, are you applying to a firm that offers not only the usual legal training, but also runs some kind of internal academy that provides opportunities to develop business knowledge, perhaps through arranging client-led seminars, or additional opportunities to develop your soft skills, maybe through expert-led workshops? Alternatively, are employees encouraged to get involved in business development initiatives or to bring in work? Or does the firm offer grants to help you pay for, say, language courses or additional qualifications such as MBAs? Then explain why you care. If you are attracted to a firm because it promises practical experience and ample exposure to clients at the start, perhaps link back to the experiences where you have enjoyed, maybe thrived while learning by doing. Could a more holistic approach to training, one that creates opportunities to develop not just technical knowledge that you need as a junior, but also the broader business and professional skills you'll need throughout your career, potentially help you to emerge as a more well-rounded professional? If so, will this better prepare you for a more senior role? Another thing you could look at is support and supervision. Think about the types of support and supervision that you will be provided throughout your training contract. Do you have dedicated mentors, perhaps at varying levels of seniority? Do you have regular supervisor catch-ups and frequent appraisals? Are there regular technical training sessions within each team, as well as frequent trainee-specific seminars? What about e-learning resources that you can access on demand? Now, why might you care? Well, think about whether the firm's approach to developing its employees aligns with your preferred means of learning and developing. If you think it does align, perhaps explain how you discovered that this approach works best for you. If you'll be allocated buddies or mentors at varying levels of seniority, could this enable you to learn from and build relationships with a broad range of professionals? Or does it suggest you will be properly supported in your role? Another point to consider is the size of the trainee intake that the firm hires each year and the size of the teams that the firm intends to staff on matters. Does the firm hire only a small intake of juniors, or would you be part of a huge pool of trainees? Does the firm tend to staff smaller teams on matters, for example, just a partner, one or two associates and a trainee? Or does the firm tend to prefer to use much larger teams? Then explain why you care. Link your comments about intake size and team size to your preferred working style. For example, would you prefer being part of a smaller trainee intake or working in smaller teams if you feel this would give you the chance to earn greater responsibility and exposure at an earlier stage? Perhaps this is because fewer juniors tend to be staffed on matters in firms that have smaller intakes and tend to allocate work to smaller teams. You might also feel less anonymous and more integral when working as part of a smaller team. Conversely, you might prefer the idea of joining a larger intake or working in larger teams, as this could potentially give you a larger pool of colleagues with whom you can form professional relationships and from who you can learn. A final point you could consider in this context is the secondments and placements that the firm offers. Does the firm offer unparalleled or particularly unique opportunities to work in overseas offices or go on international, client or pro bono secondments during your training program? Note that simply stating that a firm offers international secondments likely won't differentiate the firm from its closest competitors, many of whom probably do the same. However, if the firm is one of the only firms to offer, for example, guaranteed secondments, pro bono secondments, or stints at particularly interesting client offices, or if the firm offers a greater range of international secondments than its competitors, then this might be a sufficiently unique point to raise. As always, then explain why you care. Do international secondments appeal because you have a genuine interest in working internationally and building relationships with colleagues around the world? If so, be prepared to explain how you've explored this interest to date, which jurisdictions you would like to work in, and why. Do you feel that international placements would be enriching experiences that can provide an awareness of cultural and regional differences? Is this especially important given how much of the firm's work is multi-jurisdictional? Client secondments appeal because they would enable you to better understand clients' perspectives and how they operate. Could this in turn hone your commercial acumen by shaping your understanding of how different companies operate from a commercial standpoint? And could this then feed into your broader professional development?